What is up, my creators? Welcome to your intuitive session. As usual, take what resonates, leave the rest. Let's jump right on in. So the two cards that we have for us today is the Mars card, which says action and aggression, along with the Eight of Fire. Now the Mars card, it picks up energy, it picks up the speed of things, and it almost makes you want to go, it makes you want to move. There's almost a driving force in a sense that gets us going, or makes us want to almost follow through with things. It's almost like an alarm clock too. If we've been almost like at a slower or stagnant state, it's almost like once we shift into Mars, whatever, it doesn't really matter the planetary bodies or anything like that, but through the imagery, it's like once we shift into this almost like Mars state or this Mars energy, we pick up, things are more activated in a sense. So I think that's what I want to call this. It's just like an activation, but it's almost like, this is almost like a side note. It's almost like there's multiple planets of Mars, or there's more than one Mars in a sense. So this is bringing in almost like more than one person, or some almost like it's like a group of people who is all action oriented and ready to work or ready to shift and change the energy together. In a sense, it's almost like everyone that's a part of the situation is wanting to help move the energy in a sense. Now with the Eight of Fire, this talks about almost like incoming messages, incoming downloads. So aside from the side note, it could be a lot of incoming messages or incoming downloads that you're having to almost open up and answer to. It's almost like a lot of incoming manifestations in a sense. It's almost like a backlog of manifestation that I want to say. A backlog of manifestation, and now that it's almost like the lid has been blown off, or something has been removed or declogged. It's almost like now all of this energy is pouring through this pipe, or all of this energy is now flowing through almost directly to you. You may have been asking almost like the universe, or even praying like, where is my manifestation, or where is almost like the reality that I want to slip into or fall into. It's almost like you're saying that I've aligned everything and I've been doing everything that at least we know of, or that you know of, to bring something forth to you. And it's almost like this is the turning point, or this is when a lid pops off and everything that you almost in a sense ordered. It's almost like ordering a bunch of packages and they haven't came through, or they just, you don't know where they are, or in a sense what's taking so long. But as the lid blows off and as the top pops, everything that's been on hold, or everything that's been on wait, it's almost like you're starting to receive things that you even forgot that you asked for. And now it's not too much to handle, but now it's a lot to work with, or a lot to sort through. This is like me when I order tarot decks from overseas and I'm going on like a haul or like a splurge when I know I shouldn't be. But when I'm ordering so much decks from overseas versus Amazon, I know when I order it off Amazon, it'll come in 2 days. But when you order it from overseas, it's just like, how long or when will it actually be here, or when will it actually get here? And then randomly I'll go on the porch when I completely forget about it, or I'm just going about my day. Even if it's like a Kickstarter deck, which, Kickstarter decks don't come until sometimes months after the project is actually finished or complete or released. And then randomly I go outside on my porch and there's like 4 packages or 5 packages there with a bunch of different decks that I'm just like, wow, I forgot that I placed an order for this, or I forgot that I even asked for this. This talks about almost in a sense answers as well. It's almost like you sent out a question into the universe, or you're sending out ideas into the universe, and as they come back, you're like, wow, I forgot that I was even questioning this, or I forgot that I was even concerning this or worrying this. It's almost like you wake up the next day, or you wake up in your day, and magically you have almost like the answers that you were looking for, or something is just laid out and placed out right there for you. And not only is it laid out and placed there right there for you, it's almost, since all of this is red and fiery, red and fiery almost talks about not necessarily urgency, but something to work with, and almost like ideas that you can unpack and unfold now. It's talking about right now, like doing it now or having it now. So it's almost like maybe it's already been there, but something in the space is out. Like say you're working in your room, or because I have a quote that I saved in my phone And it was like a, you know how they do those little text messages, and they have like God as a name, and it'll be like God is sending you a message. The text was, it's like you already have exactly what you need, or I gave you everything that you need. Use what you have. So it's almost like you're looking around in your room and you're like looking at things that you already bypassed, and they're almost like they have like a different feel or a different energetic signature to them. It's almost like they are alive, or they're speaking to you in a way where they haven't spoke to you before. They're almost wanting you to unpack it and wanting you to unfold it and use it and incorporate it. It's almost like the answer has been sitting in the room with you. You just haven't been looking at it in the way that almost like the answer will be perceived or unfolded to you. Maybe you thought that it would come through in a different way or a certain way, so you overlook it. But when you almost shift your perception in just a little sense, or shift your perception in just the slightest way, it's almost like everything becomes activated. I'm almost getting like the idea of Toy Story, or how all of the toys, they just sit there almost like unattended to or untouched when Andy or someone is in a room. But it's almost like once Andy leaves the room, all of these toys starts to be activated, and they have a whole life and story of their own, a whole universe of their own. It's almost like each of these little orbs, or each of these little fireballs in the Eight of Fire, it's its own little like universe or world of possibility, or a resource. It is a resource that is being almost like highlighted at this point. So it's almost like all of these little orbs, or everything here, along with the Mars card or the action card, is being highlighted or being lit up. In a sense, it's almost like it starts shaking or not shaking, but it's almost like something about it is drawing you to it more than before, making you feel intuitively guided to use it, and almost in a sense add it to your arsenal, or to actually make something of it. So Mars and the Eight of Fire,